a lot of our scrims have been going really well. Um, and I mean, our first series. But it went pretty good.
Your first series went good. Nice.
Yeah, like the game one was 20 minutes, I think.
Do you think you have a chance of beating GSM this split and winning it all?
Uh, I mean, I think we'll do okay. Um, it's hard because like when we watched their uh one of their last games that we saw, it wasn't like they were doing a whole lot better. It's like the other team was just inting really hard. Not
Yeah.
saying they're not a good team coming, because obviously they're pretty good, they're pretty solid. It's just hard to judge sometimes when you see another team just kind of running it down at them.
Yeah.
He got outplayed though. Look at the moves.
God. I'm gonna kind of flame CGR a little bit in this. It's a very light one. It's just when my week 2, week 3 predictions, I'm gonna predict that they lose. Just very lightly, just mention that I think Lean and GMB are gonna. Oh wait, who plays them week 3? Hold on, that's Rivals, yeah.
I'm not talking while we're muted. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the Grlcs Power Rankings. I am Seiko here to lead the chaos that's going to happen tonight, and with me are 3 special guests. From Gold, we have got SP Pillars. From Platinum, we have got Pigs My Fly Doulos. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Doulos. And from Diamond, we have the Extraordinary Snake Excessi. Am I saying that right? I think I'm butchering that.
Good enough, exercise. What's up?
All right, well, tonight we're going to cover just week 1, kind of go over, some of the, great predictions that I had and some of the ones that weren't as great. I want to thank you to all the teams that made me have to eat a Carolina Reaper this last week. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully the rest of you guys will get the games together. We'll be able to, hopefully not eat that thing as hot. As I promised, tonight is the last minute thing. Any predictions that I did get wrong, I'll be eating one of these Carolina Reaper cheese balls, which are promised to be the hottest spheres that I'll ever put in my mouth. So these should be, fun to eat while we're doing this as well. But week 1, we'll do a quick recap here. On Diamond Cap, the Glacial Omen went over Washed Up Gaming. OC Sports Last Minute Goons have not played their game yet, but they should be getting that done this week. GSM walked over Welcome to the Bronze Parade via Double FF. Spawn Points went over Lighthouse Storm. And Crimson Gaming did beat GMB, but unfortunately, this week, Crimson Rams Gaming did pull out, so that game has been nullified after that, and the Lean Smokers did get past Rivals. SB, any comments or anything surprising about the results for this first week to you?
Not a whole lot. Kind of what I've been looking at with some of these teams. I kind of expected some of those games.
Okay. And then for Diamond, so far GSM did beat Devils Never Die. Devils Never Die. I'm counting on you guys. You got to turn it around. I'm putting so much effort and weight on you guys, and you got to turn it around. I believe in you. I believe you can do it. Pootie Tang Gang did get by Team Fish Tacos, and PQ did get by UCO Broncos, which is a whole other story to come a little bit later. Death Cards got by Return of the Bingo Squad. Pigs My Fly got by Feed Me Gaming. Doulos, anything on that game against Feed Me Gaming and the team that you guys played that night before they had, unfortunately, some of them had backed out tonight?
It's really sad to hear the implosion of Feed Me Gaming, because my team, we regard them as a pretty decent team. Although they had like Ignite top lane player, he was pretty solid and he was their carry as well as their jungle. But those are the two players that got frustrated and ended up leaving the team. So it's like, without those two players, I feel like this team's not going to do nearly as well.
Well, and actually what we found out talking to him was, because, I mean, we never want to see a team leave. There are reasons when teams leave, and some of the teams that we unfortunately are saying goodbye to over the last 2 weeks are results of fractions with the rules. But Feed Me Gaming, unfortunately, there's actually 3 players that are leaving. We were told that their mid lane was actually just a sub until they could find somebody more temporary. And so he's also leaving. So their bot lane is ones that are still there. I did talk to their bot lane. They would still like to get a team together, and they are looking. So if you're out there, you want to play on a platinum team, I'll put you in touch with the guys that left for Feed Me Gaming. It's only 2 guys, but it's only one. They've only lost, I think it's their second week now that they've lost their 2 games. Still early in the split. Still a lot can happen. So hopefully we can see these guys make a turnaround and put a team together and have a good rest of the split. Kanye Come to Convo and MG Midnight. This is Kanye Come to Convo is one team that we did have to say goodbye to this last week, and we are talking to a few players and maybe putting a team together to take over this spot. But that team has until the end of this week to try and get it together, and then if they're unable to, then the teams against Kanye Come to Convo, we may turn that into a bye weeks coming up. Then I think the last game we got here, and I think a game that is currently going on, is Mingos versus Reign of Kings, and then Logic Flaming against AoE Crowd Control. These guys were also good. Actually, let me go back here. Was there any that I missed? Okay, GSM. I think GSM was just the one. So, this one's not bad. That's spicy though. Dillis, anything surprising from week 1 for the Platinum Division from you?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about all the matchups a little bit more in depth, but GSM versus Devils Never Die was a good one. So Devils Never Die had I believe 1 sub, and they were scrambling to find a last minute sub, and the series ended up going 2-1. The game that was on stream, you could just see Devils Never Die slowly tilting throughout the game. Especially Ignopius in that game, who just ended up tilting. There was a lot of really bad macro calls from Devils Never Die, but I expect them to improve throughout the split. GSM kind of showed a little bit as well, but it was just very sloppy gameplay against Devils Never Die. They gave up a lot where they didn't need to, and it was kind of like a solo queue frenzy in that game. So I wasn't really a fan of either team there. But GSM ended up coming on top. But I can't. I kind of have to discount the win a little bit because Devils Never Die. They had a sub at the very least. So I don't know. Maybe without the sub, the 2-1 could go in the other direction.
And I had Devils Never Die rated higher on this, and actually had them to pick this game because of their history playing together. And the person they swapped out, what ended up happening was they were actually ineligible at the very last minute when we were going through rosters and stuff. What ended up happening was he had 19 games played instead of the 20 required, so he had stopped. They stopped the first game. He went and played his 20th ranked game, and then he got right back in there. And so I think that kind of interaction kind of may have tilted him a little bit. And so the fact that they dealt with that and still went 2-1, I mean, it was a mental thing for sure. Diamond for this one, Predictive Fusion, Predicting Gaming, and the little PogChamp. This one I feel trolled on because little did I know Piplup did not have his 20 games played. I hate you, Piplup, for that. Reform did get the win over GE Club. Snake, you guys got the win over Diamond Win. Your Poopy got the win over PvE Sports. The Imperial Knights had a week off. XSI, any surprises here with what happened with Diamond week 1?
I'm pretty removed so far from the Diamond craft. I'm not trying to psych myself out by looking into too much. I'm going to watch the stream games tomorrow. Hopefully some of them will look a little interesting.
Yeah.
as far as our games, we had pretty good games against Diamond Union. Pretty close second game. All the other results, they seem pretty expected. I guess Pip up through. To get his prediction correct, looks like what happened there on that one. But other than that, everything else looks pretty good.
Yeah. All right, we'll head on to week 2. So predictions for week 2. So pillars, who are you? So for Glacial Omen and Woken Bronze Parade, I've got Bronze Parade, who I think is going to take it for this matchup. Who do you think is going to be the one come out on top?
I'm gonna go with Glacial Omen. I think they're gonna come out on top in the series.
All right, what makes you think that they're going to do anything special?
I kind of just flipped a quarter on that one because I'm not really sure. I haven't seen either of those two teams play, so I'm kind of go with them.
All right, and GSM Gold did get the win over Last Minute Goons. Surprisingly, these guys are still pulling it together. Is there anything any teams can do to beat GSM Gold?
I mean, really, just I think you just need to not give up a lot of early kills. I think if you can move around, kind of play a little more on the macro side of the map, and kind of get those objectives, I think you stand a good chance.
All right, now about a Washed Up Gaming versus OC Esports. Who do you got here?
I've got Washed Up Gaming.
All right, fair enough there. What do you think OC Esports? Because I think this is the second week in a row that these guys have kind of had a team pick against them. What do you think this team needs to do to get a win going this week?
I really don't know. I haven't seen them play, honestly. I think Wash Up Gaming honestly just has a little bit better of a team, but not saying they can't pull it off and beat them. I just think they just need to play more together.
Ooh, excuse me. What about Spawn Point versus Get Money Boys?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with us. We've been practicing quite a bit. Like I said, we spend a lot of time watching videos, watching reviews, watching higher elo teams play to kind of get a better idea of the game. And I think that all of that time we spend is going to pay off for us.
All right. Well, hoping you guys pull it off. I mean, I've got some faith in you guys. You guys have had a pretty good team so far. Now, when it comes to the rankings here, the one change in the rankings that I do have, I have moved up Gecko Slimmer Armageddon. They did, win. They have gotten up there, so I got them for that. Wash Up Gaming up a little bit. Glacial Omen up a bit. But some of the ones still down here at the bottom, Get Money Boys, they did get a win back from CGR from that one. Lighthouse Storm a little bit down from the bottom. And since CGR isn't here anymore, I did find an ample replacement for gold in 4th place, and that is Pootie Tang Gang from Platinum. So unfortunately, these guys have dropped enough that this is where I've got these guys at in my ranking. So this is where these guys are going to be at for a while. But for the top 6 teams here in gold, why don't you walk us through your list here?
Yeah, I mean, overall, just from some of the games I've seen, I think this is kind of what I expect to be our top 6 teams. If it's only 6, they're going to make it through playoffs and stuff like that. I mean, I've got pretty much the same list as you do for my side. I think on the Yordle side, though, I do think it's going to be GSM and Glacial Omen for the top 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to toss up between either Washed Up or OC Esports for 4th and 5th.
Okay.
But everything else, though, looks pretty good as far as like how I think it's going to play out.
All right. Well, I mean, hopefully, you guys are up there number 1. I mean, I think you guys do have a really strong team, but hopefully, we'll see you guys make it through the rest, of the split, and hope so to see you guys in playoffs. Now I don't even. Now I know for Platinum this week coming up, Doulos, I know you've got some thoughts and some feelings on this team coming up. So when it comes to Team Fish Tacos and Devils Never Die, who you placing your money with on this one?
Devils Never Die. Although I don't like them, I know they're gonna play better than Team Fish Taco. It'll definitely be a jungle difference between Ignopius and Mistress Yi in this one.
Okay. And this was actually a surprising game for me to see, because I actually had GSM Plat over UCO Broncos initially until this game got played. Did this outcome kind of surprise you?
Yeah, this outcome absolutely surprised me. I didn't, honestly, coming in the split, I did not rate the UCO Broncos very highly, and I was like, oh, Gecko Slammer are probably like, they're like top 3 in their group, they're gonna make playoffs, and they get upset by UCO Broncos. I looked into the match histories. I wasn't able to spectate the game live, but it was a lot of, I would say, draft errors from GSM, and UCO just kind of grouping up and playing really well. They just ended up winning a lot of those fights. It didn't seem like their macro game was really great or anything, but they just had easier to execute comps and they just executed them pretty well. So I'm impressed by UCO Broncos here.
Yeah, GSM as an organization has always been a very good performing organization, and to see them fall to UCO Broncos what was a shock. So, kudos to UCO Broncos. It's a great win to get, and, we hope you guys can capital and build on that for week 3 as it's coming up. Pudite Gang, return of Bingo Squad. This didn't surprise me too much. From what you know of Bingo Squad, what can they do to try and get back in the race?
That requires them wanting to get into the race in the first place. I feel like they're just the team that's here to play, here to have fun. So, the competitive aspect of it isn't really there for them, but they have great players, Karasuda in the bot lane, Jack Loves Lamp, just that rock in the top lane. They have the pieces they need to be able to perform well in this conference, but you have to put in the work to get to that, I guess, that competitive floor.
Yeah, and I know that Ari has been traveling. She's got the new job starting coming up, so I know that's had some aspect into it. Individually, like solo queue wise, Bingo Squad has good players, but it's you have to have the team aspect of it. Like with some of the players that have been together for a really long time, just because you've got high rankings doesn't mean you necessarily play together as a team. I had a plat team together like 2 splits ago, and we were all pretty decently high ranked, but you put us together on a team, and it's like we fell apart quicker than Feed Me Gaming did. It was just horrible. But for Death Cards versus PQ, who do you like in this one?
Ooh, I think this is gonna be like the match of the week in all of Platinum Division. I'm really curious to see who comes out on top here. I want to give the edge over to Death Cards just because I scrimmed against them. I rate them pretty highly. I know Matsy's a pretty good jungler, and they have carry potential through their mid and bot as well. But PQ played they played against, I believe it was UCO in their first match, and they kind of smashed them, and UCO was the one who beat GSM this week. I can't count them out at all, but I'm gonna give this one to Death Cards and predict for them.
For the sake of competition here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go PQ just because. I think Death Cards may edge them out here, but PQ it was UCO Broncos. But just seeing some more of their match history and what these guys have been playing together, it should be. Like you said, match of the week. This is one that I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to on stream. When it comes to AoE crowd control and Pigs Might Fly, you guys obviously beat AoE crowd control. How was this series for you?
So it was a 3-game series. We won 2-1. We lost the first game and won the second 2. Okay. It was a matter of, I guess, all the games were really one-sided. I'll start with that. The first game, we got absolutely smashed, and the second 2, we absolutely smashed them. It was kind of a matter of draft and execution in all of the games, and in the second and third games, we changed up our draft a little bit, and they weren't able to adapt very well. In the third game, we ended up getting Zolothurian off of the Azir pick, no, it's not Zolothurian. Whoever their mid laner is, we got him off the Azir pick, and he's been playing Azir like all split. So for future ascended conference teams, just ban his Azir. He's not super comfortable on these other champions. Same with the jungler. They kind of just have their comfort picks, and you can't really let them have the comfort picks. Their macro isn't really great, and they just tilted so hard for the rest of the series.
So you think you're not calling these guys one-trick ponies, are you?
Not necessarily not one-trick ponies, maybe like 2-3 trick ponies. Enough to beat some of the other teams in the division for sure.
Okay. And now this one, I know Reign of Kings isn't playing anybody this week because we unfortunately had to say goodbye to somebody. But do you think Reign of Kings is going to use their bye week wisely?
Well, Reign of Kings, they're practicing consistently. I see Leroy posting in the different scrim servers looking for platinum scrim at 8 p.m. CST. But yeah, they'll get their practice in. They're playing their match against Mingos right now, which is going pretty well for them. I was spectating game 1; they absolutely smashed Mingos, and game 2 is looking pretty good for them as well.
Okay. And last ones, two we've got here. Mingos beat Feed Me Gaming. Did that outcome kind of surprise you?
It did surprise me a little bit because we did regard Feed Me Gaming as a pretty good team. We didn't look into Mingos very much, so Mingos kind of just this dark horse, and being able to beat Feed Me Gaming, especially in a 2-0, is very impressive.
All right, now what about for MG Midnight versus Counterlogic Flaming? Who do you like in this one?
I like MG Midnight in this one. I watched the KG Counter Logic Flaming match that they played against AoE CC, and they just didn't show anything impressive. But MG Midnight was able to take a game off of the Smurf team, Kanye Come to Convo. So they at least have something going for them.
And I will say that MG Midnight, they did have some internal issues early on in the season, and there has been a changing of the guards, new captain. I forgot the guy's name, Sauce Hunt. Who's kind of taking over the helm of the captain right now. I did talk to him a little bit about what it would go through to change captains and stuff out. It was a very amicable changing from what he had said, from what the organization had said. So hopefully with him in charge, with kind of him heading up things, the MG Midnight is also changing names, I think. But that's who we're referring to him as right now, because I don't think that's gone through just yet. But hopefully, we'll see something good come from these guys this week. And now on to the favorite thing and how you've got these guys rated. Our rankings for Plat this week. I did bump up Mingos a little bit. May have bumped up a little bit too much based on what I've heard on tonight, but I also had Reign of Kings up here quite a bit. Pigs My Fly, I have you guys at the top of the conference for Ascended. For Darken, I've got Death Cards here at the top. Pootie Tang Gang at second. And Gecko Slim Armageddon at third. Devils Never Die at fourth. And actually, this was a toss-up for me for PQ and Devils Never Die, because the way PQ's been playing and Devils Never Die is, I don't think Devils Never Die is out of the running. I think they've had a few rough couple of weeks, like we've seen. I think they're a very capable team. UCO Broncos down at the bottom of the Darken tournament. I mean, these are teams that just need to kind of get it together. But UCO, for me, beating GSM, I think put them edged out. Bingo Squad and Team Fish Tacos for me. But what do you have here for Darken and Ascended?
Yeah, so we'll start with Darken. So whenever I was making this tier list, and this was before I heard Feed Gaming was imploding, before I began watching the Mingos Reign of Kings series, obviously. But yeah, we'll start with Darken. So and S tier all by themselves. So the Darken conference is a very mid-heavy conference, I would say. I think Def Cards, PQ, GSM, UCO Broncos, Devils Never Died. They're going to be competing for those second and third playoff spots, but Pootie Tang Gang is in a league of their own. The gap between Pootie Tang Gang and the rest of the teams in their conference is just so massive right now, and it will be really difficult for these teams to try to catch up to Pootie Tang Gang. A tier, I have Def Cards and PQ. I think both these teams played pretty well week one, and I think Def Cards is just a step below Pootie Tang Gang. Many steps below Pootie Tang Gang, but I think on a similar level as PQ, which is why I'm really curious to see their match this week.
Okay, that's fair. And I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. This is looking like a mid-range look at division. I think that's fair, and I think that'll just make things a lot more interesting as we get closer to especially to playoffs, because all these teams are around the same league, league together, with the exception of the few at the top. So near the playoffs, it's gonna be real interesting to see how these teams try and cooperate. Now, what do you have for us in Ascended?
Yeah, and in Ascended, I put my own team as S tier. I believe that we are better as a team. I think macro-wise, we are a lot stronger than any of the other teams in our conference. I was looking at Reign of Kings tonight, though. They're looking pretty clean. I hadn't seen Reign of Kings play yet with this new version of their roster, so didn't know what to think of them, but I definitely regard them very highly. Have strong players as Estega, Leroy, Renji, and Randy Newman. Mm-hmm. So they're going to perform pretty well, and they obviously are beating Mingos right as we speak. So, I think A tier is very fair for them, even bump them up to S tier maybe, depending on how well they perform in Game 2. A tier, Mingos and Feed Me Gaming. I think after the roster changes for Feed Me Gaming, I would drop them down to about C tier with MG Midnight. Their top and jungle were the ones that were carrying the team, so without them, I don't think they performed nearly as well. We played against AoE Crowd Control, and they were an okay team. They took one game off of us. but I just don't think they have the ability to adapt within a series, which is why I kind of put them that B tier. But in terms of Ascended Conference as a whole, I would say this one's a lot more top heavy than the Darkened Conference, which is more mid heavy. I think Pigs Might Fly, Reign of Kings, Mingos are the top 3 teams for sure in that conference. But, I think we're all almost around the same skill level.
Okay, and that'll be a little bit more of a, I think so. Do you think the winner of the Plat division is going to come from Ascended, or do you think Pootie Tang Gang is going to run away with it from Darken?
I'm this is how it's gonna go down. It's gonna be Pigs Might Fly versus Pootie Tang Gang in the finals, 1-1, game 3. I'm gonna just start running it down because I have a mental block against Dr. Siggy Wiggy.
So you're gonna say it's gonna be in 3 games. You're gonna take Pootie Tang Gang in the finals.
Yes.
All right. So I'll say this: if it goes exactly like that, I will buy everybody on your team whatever skin they want.
Okay, we'll take that one.
Okay, all right. Now Diamond, which is becoming kind of the meme thing for me as I'm going through this with the different Diamond people. XSI, who do you got for MLP versus the GE club?
I'd have to go with MLP. When looking at Diamond Cap teams, I think like more so than any other league, it's like all about individual players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like huge difference between a Diamond 4 player and a Diamond 1 player on a roster, and then compare that to like a Plat 4 and a Plat 1 player in Plat Capped. I don't think there's an insane much of a difference. But in Diamond Capped, especially like if you have people who are even Platinum or Gold, when you just play against like a full roster of like actual Diamond players, there's like just like way more of a skill gap than another league. So like ranking the teams, I just took like a super objective look at everyone's OP.GGs and their rankings. And for the most part, I've just valued teams that had more consistently higher ranked players over teams that like had maybe a Platinum or a Gold person, or like they're more Diamond 4 compared to Diamond 2 players.
Oh, see, wasn't there? I think there was one team I think may have had even a silver or gold player on their team in Diamond.
Yeah, I saw a couple Gold players looking through the OP.GG, and if you're playing with friends and you're making it work, that's cool. But if you're like actually Gold and you're in like a lane against a Diamond player, I think that's just like a liability waiting to happen.
It's exactly that, man. I've seen that in a couple of clashings. I mean, like you've got friends that want to sign up together and play, and we're like, okay, well, you're Gold going against Diamond. Well, I'll play with my friends all the time. Well, then you just know how to kind of hold a lane, but not necessarily win a lane. And when you get Diamond players like this, I mean, you've got to win lane, or game's pretty much over. What do you got for a Diamond win versus Predictive Gaming?
My money on Predictive Gaming. I think their roster looked pretty good. We played Diamond win this week 1, and I think they're actually a pretty good team. The matches were pretty close. But I just think overall Predictive Gaming's got a really strong lineup.
Okay. And what do you got for a Reform versus Imperial Knights?
I do have Imperial Knights in the top of the conference. I'd be hard pressed to see them dropping anything anytime soon.
Would it surprise you if there was anybody in the league who would take a game or even a series off of Imperial Knights? Who do you think that would be?
I think when it comes to top team, more often than not, you end up losing to teams at the bottom more so than teams at the top, because you prepare for teams at the top, you take it really seriously. You go into it, you know everything that's going to happen. Teams at the bottom, sometimes you're like, I mean, yeah, it should be a free week, so you just go into it, you play normal, and they come in with like some kind of plan. And the teams at the bottom, they'll take it as seriously as any other match, and they'll do all their prep work and everything, and you can actually end up dropping games against people you shouldn't have dropped anything against. So I think anyone more so towards the bottom of the rankings would end up having an easier time.
All right, now for your Poopy versus Snake, I'm assuming you got your team on this one. Or are you gonna pull a Piplup on me and pick the other team over you guys?
I'm not gonna try and throw for content, so I'll bet on myself.
You hear that, Piplup? We all know that you threw for content specifically. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Now, in terms of like for the rankings here, these again are somewhat close. I mean, you threw you guys down at the bottom of it. But what do you talk us through what you've got ranked it for how you guys for you have a Diamond set up?
I just went through. I opened up every single team's OP.GG, 1 through 9 of them. I had all of them open, and I just kind of started sorting my tabs, like, like good teams to the left, bad teams to the right. There's this one team I'm looking at this roster. I'm like, holy shit. They're like negative win rate across the board. I'm like, these people, they have to be like plat cap players. I put them all the way to the right. Turns out that was our team. So that's how we ended up at the bottom. Everyone else, I kind of just sorted it. Imperial Knight White, they got a solid D4 to D2 lineup. They look pretty strong. Diamond Cap player trying to play in Diamond Cap. And then as teams kind of like, there's a plat player here and there. There's a gold person here. They just kind of slid down the rankings compared to other teams. So it was just super objective.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. This is pretty close. I think you guys have a little bit better chance of some of these, but we'll see what shakes out. When it comes to getting towards the playoffs, I know it's still really, really early on. Who are the two teams you think will end up seeing in the finals?
I think everyone likes a good underdog story, so it'll just end up being, 9th place Snake against Imperial Knights White.
Hey, here we go. That'll be something to see for sure. And now it's time for everybody's favorite thing, and we've even got some guys that are here on the call that are split on a couple of these choices, and it's that time again. Mom, I need that champ skin to play better at League, and maybe some of these other players need a better skin to play. That's probably what we need to be judging them on. To the skins we really love. We got surprise birthday Fiddlesticks, Triumph Rise, Victorious Elise, High Noon Senna, High Noon Hecarim, and Astronaut Bard and Astronaut Nautilus. Now I actually like Astronaut Bard. This is the little meeps on this are probably one of my favorite little changes that they've made to his skin kit. So what's Darren? What's got you all flustered over birthday Fiddlesticks here?
Surely not I who chose birthday Fiddlesticks. That's a ugly skin.
Oh wait, did I get that mixed up? Who sent that?
Don't come on my skin like that ever again, fella.
Defend yourself. Why is this?
My bad. Sorry. XSI. I apologize to Darren for saying that was ugly. XSI. What's the thing that's got you all loving the surprise party Fiddlesticks?
I don't know if any of you have ever had the pleasure of listening to his dance, but he's got like a full-on song baked into his dance, and the beat on it is just so incredibly hard. And he's headbanging, banging his legs back and forth. So if you ever make a play on Fiddlesticks, you get a gank off, you kill their laner, you immediately go on their body and start just headbanging, dropping the beat. The mental warfare on that skin is just too intense.
Oh my god, that's okay. Now I'm gonna have to go try that, buy that skin, see if I can try to see to get that going.
I could pull it up in a game for you. It's the hardest beat you've ever heard in League of Legends on a skin.
All right, now what's got you excited for Triumph Rise and Victorious Elise?
Triumph and Rise, I think, is just like I used to be a Rise player, but besides that, just the way you got the skin used to be really cool. You used to have to win a Riot sponsored tournament to get the skin, and I got it way back. I don't know, season 2, season 3. When Riot you message Riot, you'd be like, "Hey, I got a tournament this Saturday. Can you sponsor it?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And they would just give people that one skins and RP. And they were kind of like loosey-goosey about that. Nowadays, they're really strict. I don't think you can even get Triumph and Rise anymore. But if people ever ask how I get it, I could say, back in Season 1, I was actually spring LCS split MVP of the season. And I, hard carried my LCS roster to Worlds that year.
Little feather and cap, little badge of honor. All right, fair enough. And what about Elise?
Same category. It's an older Victoria skin from season 3, I believe. I have season 2. Janna is like just cool to show off. We've been playing for a while, I think, and you like play ranked all the way back then when League wasn't as popular. But Janna, I don't sound like a Janna player. I'm a jungler. I ain't busting out the Janna skin no time soon. So Victorious Elise does actually get a little bit of use every now and then. It's just cool to flex on people like, hey, I used to play ranked all the way back season 2, season 3.
And Pillars, explain yourself for Senna and Hecarim here.
Man, I really like the splash art and the animations with the abilities on those skins.
Yeah.
I don't have either one of them, sadly, but I've played against them, and they look really nice. Like, I've got Arcade Hecarim. I've got one of his older skins, which I still really like that one, but the High Noon one, and it's on my list. Unfortunately, though, I've counted how much money I've spent on skins, and I'm trying to hold back.
So you're saying so you're giving an excuse for how many times you've died to these because you're just in awe of how they look on the map? Is that what's happened?
Oh yeah. I'm definitely like every time I die, it's just me, just being like, man, it's a really nice skin. Like I thought about spending money like Toe Knuckles, but I can't do it.
All right, and, Darren, now we'll get to yours, and I'm sorry I offended you so much for saying, that the party fiddlesticks is yours. I've got the notes up here now. Look at this. I thought I've got this memorized, and I have offended you, and I apologize for that, sir. But Bard skin, I approve. Like, I agree with that. I mean, support player too. Like, I mean, the Bard skin is great. He needs some good skins. So what's got these two skins for you?
Yeah, honestly, before the astronaut bard skin, you had the Winter Wonder one, and then you had the Elderwood, and you had the Bard Chromas. So this is like a deluxe bard skin in my eyes. I'm like, yo, this one's pretty sick with the Meese being aliens. It's just so cute, And then you got I chose the Astronautilus too, just going with the Astro theme because this is one of the few skins I have which I just really enjoy playing. If I ever whip out Nautilus in the GRLCS, I'm gonna play this skin.
Oh, fantastic! And then there's a skin that's not coming out that you picked. That's coming out, which is the UB skin, which I didn't even know was it. I mean, I'm so focused on other things, I didn't even know that the skin was coming out. But I mean, this one, I will admit this. This is a cute skin. And so I'm like, this is great. I even see the little Cogmaw here, which is going to be just freaking fantastic. But what's got you excited about this skin coming out?
Yeah, I mean, I love both the BMA and the UB skin, but especially the UB skin because I'll maybe get some use out of that one if I ever decide to spend money on this game. The Q, I've watched the skin spotlight video before I chose this. I told you this was one of my favorite skins because it's just so adorable. The Q buzzes as it goes around like a little bee. And, she just got the cute little bee outfit on, and then the ult is like a honeycomb. So I don't know, it's just pretty great thematically.
All right, and then we got some controversy tonight regarding the skins, and that's the Pillars has picked All Out Seraphine for one of his favorite skins tonight. Pillars, explain yourself, sir.
I don't think I even need to explain. I mean, just look at that artwork right there. Like that speaks for itself. These guys are just a bunch of haters on a really nice skin. I'm also the person who like any support champ, I've pretty much got all of those skins. Like, what's the Sona one that was like DJ Sona or whatever? Yeah, I bought that one when that one came out. I've got I think 2 different Nami skins. This is on my list if I ever decide to start playing support again.
All right, well, fair enough. And then we will be going over to the most hated skins now, which starting off All Out Seraphine. The guys that were hating on this one, let's hear your reasons for not liking
You guys are
this
toxic.
I'll let Darren go first.
Well, the All Out Seraphine skin, I don't know. It's just kind of a rebrand of KDA. It's just kind of, I don't know. In my opinion, it's like great value version. So I'm not a huge fan of it.
I hate it for completely different reasons. I think the skin's great. I think like the audio is great in game, but I think it was just the world's biggest slap in the face by Riot to ever be like, hey, here's this cool legendary skin, 3,000 RP, but when you buy it, you don't even get the skins. You got to start doing missions to get the skins. That's like you go into a restaurant, you're like, man, that burger on that menu, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna order that. And the waiter goes, all right, now go in the back and cook it for yourself. It's like, well, I already paid my money. I just want the skins. Why'd I got to do work to get the skins I already bought?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like how Disney Plus makes you they made me pay for Mulan if I wanted to watch it, like $30 for a movie, which would normally be like $10 in theaters.
These men have reasons to be upset, and they're valid. Let me tell you what. But then we've got the Deadly Kennen, Swamp Master Kennen, like we guys said. These look like just chromas of the original Kennen. Though I will say, Deadly Kennen does look like Deadpool. But reasons for hating the skin.
I mean, I agree with you. It looks like Deadpool, but the shade of red in the game is just so unnatural for League of Legends. It just looks like it's just an eyesore on my screen when I'm playing against it or with it.
Yep. And then we've got what is this? A Sasquatch Amumu, Sasquatch Nunu. Black Belt Udyr and Golden Alistar. Pillars, what's your grief with these 3 skins?
I think they're just absolutely terrible. I can't believe that they actually made these skins and put them in the game and decided to sell them. I mean, look at Alistar. Come on, you can't tell me that. Like, I mean, just look at that. Who did they pay to do that? Someone who's in like what 5th grade or something? Come on. And then the worst part about this whole thing is that Sasquatch Nunu skin is the only Nunu skin I have. So that's what I have to use. Or I just get to be a no skin person, and we all know that if you don't use a skin, I mean, you just lose. So, like, I have to use it. Oh, and then Black Belt Udyr, I like how they decided to put a big, giant Riot logo around the front of that one to help me know, who made this game.
All right. And
You know,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, what's funny is I only have 2 skins for Alistar, right? And I'm pretty sure, like, Alistar is, I play a lot of Alistar, so it's always really sad I have to choose between Golden Alistar and Unchained Alistar. So the worst Alistar skin, and then the free Alistar skin, and I'm just like, man, this sucks. But one time I saw Yellow Star all the way back in like season 5, season 6 when he was playing for TSM. He whipped out the Golden Alistar, and I'm like, that's my skin right there, boy.
And now you've got Spectacular Silver, which I do think is a horrid skin, and I forget it exists until somebody points it out to me. And Vancouver Amumu, which looks like regular Amumu skin but glowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a recolored Amumu skin. One of my friends, he plays it all the time, anytime he can play Amumu, and I'm just like, that skin is just so disgusting. Plus, the Spectacular Silver just doesn't look great. Splash Heart, pretty yucky, and then the in-game model, just not on par with any other Silver skins.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on this week and going through the picks and stuff for next week. Hopefully, it'll be a few less, hot items that I've got to eat this week, and we'll get somebody to finally sing. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But next week should be a fun and interesting week, as we've got, from Gold Cap, we've got Toe Knuckles that's going to be joining us. From Plat Cap, we have the infamous D&D Ignapius to come here and testify and speak for his predictions and his teams and how they've been playing so far. And for Diamond Cap, we will hopefully be having Imperial Knights White Ice Poseidon with us. We may not be streaming on Wednesday because as I was setting this up, I realized my wife's birthday is on Wednesday. So I'm going to have to pick another day next week to try and do this. But thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for coming on here. And we will be watching the rest of the games this week. And don't forget to tune in this weekend for the streams as those get going. And you guys have a great night, and we will see you later.